Hello and welcome to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No low time. Obed, good to be with you again, my friend.
Good to see you, man. A day,
Good.
a day late and the dollar short, but we're here.
Yes. Typically, guys, we do this on Thursdays, but as you remember, I quickly brought that into the end of our last episode. Friday is the day.
Yeah,
Hope everyone's gonna have a great weekend.
yeah. No, it's exactly. You can kick off your weekend listening to No Load Time. I was thinking, Joel. I don't know. I mean, we can gather feedback from, I guess, the audience, but I was thinking of just plugging all the social media stuff at the beginning. I feel that's
I can do that.
potentially you can do a pre-recorded
I
manly
can do that.
voice greeting. Oh,
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 oh, oh,
oh, oh, oh, oh,
sir.
sir, pretty cool. And we roll it right, and then we start the show with that. I don't know. We can gather feedback from the audience. Tell us what you think, guys. But Joel, how are you, man?
I am doing fantastic. It has been a nice week. Like you and I were talking off air, so it's busy as usual, and in the professional world, so that's fine. We're good, and but I will say though, I did have some nice time off the other day, and with that time off, something that ironically came out in the news that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But I actually went and saw the Batman a second time. So pretty good. Like it holds up really well. I told you it's a really good movie. It's up there in the top Batman movies of all time. Is it my favorite? No, but it's up there. I mean, it is a very, very good movie. They've done a fantastic job, and it's just a good time. And when we get to the news story, guys, we'll get into it. Don't worry about, of course, the cameo sequence that's been posted online. But yeah, aside from that, one other thing that I was able to catch, Obed, is I do have a like basically a trial, like a year trial thing with Paramount Plus.
Oh,
So I
okay.
was able to actually catch Halo, which I know just came out yesterday.
I heard mixed things about it. I
Yes.
heard it's Phalo. Uh,
Yeah, it's funny. Like comicbook.com had like really raving reviews for it. And then you go, some other places and they're like, not great. Now here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie or be shy about it. We've been very open on the show. I'm not an Xbox um
you're not, Joel.
expert by any
I'm
means.
shocked.
I know, right? I thought I knew everything about it. I'm not gonna pretend to
Are
say that I
you
know.
you don't pretend to be cashing any checks, right? Oh yeah.
That only goes to your account.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
I get the Microsoft one. It's
oh, it goes to my
uh,
PayPal.
but but no, but like I'm not gonna pretend like I know much about I have I played Halo before? Yes, absolutely. I'm sure you played Halo before at some point. It's one of those that it whether you like it or not, you know about it. It's obviously a staple franchise that Microsoft has really pushed with their consoles right over the last few years here. So I know enough Halo to keep a good conversation, is what I will say. With that in mind, I watched it and it was okay. It
All right.
wasn't great. Like it wasn't this like amazing. So like it felt like there's a lot of really bad visual effects on it.
That's what I
Um,
saw. Like,
there's a lot of bad visual effects,
okay,
but it also kind of felt like it was edited for television to some extent. Like it felt like a higher end CW show, if that makes sense.
so it's like in between Mando and CW.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So like Master Chief, like those they the Spartans, they look really cool. I thought they looked perfect, right? But then when you get into like the aliens and stuff, like it's not great. But like where CW, they're afraid to well, not afraid, they probably just don't have the budget to show that much of those visual effects, right? So that you only get like flash runs one time in an episode, right? Like with this, you know what I mean?
You only
You know
get
what I
one
mean.
run per
You get one
episode.
run every episode, one run that you actually see. The other ones just blips, like he's like time travels or something.
Mm.
But but with this, like they don't shy away from it, right? Like it doesn't. They don't have the money to give you, a cinematic uh visual effects, but they still use whatever budget they got to give you what they have. And for me, it was okay because I didn't look at it as this main masterpiece. Now, mind you, I'm also not coming in, like I said, with these wonderful connections that were on this beloved franchise. It's not like Assassin's Creed or something, right? For me, right? But it was okay. It's funny, like the main premise where it gets to the end. I don't know how the whole season's gonna go, but it did feel a little bit like knockoff Mando. Like
Mm.
he's protecting this girl, and like it kind of like it wasn't the same, but it did feel a little bit like it. And if those of you have seen it, you know what I'm talking
Knock
about.
off, man.
But I don't know. I don't know that that's how the whole season's gonna go. I think she might be a catalyst for something.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's obviously not a baby. Like she's like a youth, right? But no, I mean it. I thought it was okay and it's watchable. And actually, like I'll watch the next episode. It wasn't like I saw it once and then whatever. I think it comes out weekly, so I'll keep you guys posted on it. But
Okay.
yeah, I did get to catch Halo, and okay.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Not much on my end. Still watching Attack on Titan on Mondays when it comes out. I mean, it comes out Sunday. By the time it comes out, there's like spoilers on Twitter and whatnot, so I try to stay away. But no, still really good. Um, Still playing Horizon. That's still excellent and highly recommend it. It's absolutely a great game. I got to the point where I was like, yeah, like I got to the first big like set piece section, and it was very impressive. It was, yeah, very good. So highly recommend that game. And I was going to grab Kirby today because my daughter's
I
been asking for
know.
it. So Kirby came out today. I was gonna grab it on my way back home. I was at the office today, so on my way back, I was gonna grab it. I was like, you know what, I'm tired. It's already almost 6 o'clock. I just want to go home. So she's just gonna have to wait for Kirby. And yeah, not much, man. I'm trying to think if I watched anything of interest or of note. I really don't think I did. Like I haven't been in the mood of like watching anything for a while. I don't know why. I guess whenever Star Wars comes back, right? Whenever Obi-Wan's out, then I'll jump 100% in. But yeah, I mean, been spending a lot of time on YouTube just watching nonsense and
Wait,
memes.
Obed, you weren't excited for the Bridgerton premiere?
Richard, what the heck is that?
Broke Netflix today. It's crazy.
Oh, I don't know. So, good for
Just
you.
messing with you. I'm roasting you, man.
So good for you if you enjoy that sort of thing. I don't know. I was like, I mean, the only thing from out of Netflix that I'm looking forward to is it's Stranger Things, which I heard
Yeah,
they're
the pictures
splitting.
came out.
Yeah, which I heard they're splitting into two. We're gonna get like a part one, I think next month, right? And then July, I think, is the rest. So interesting that they're splitting in two. But yeah, no, I'm good, man. You know, I'm not into any of that sappy stuff and frou shows. I'm not. I mean,
Like you
I'll
said,
watch
good for you. Goes
I'll
who
watch
love
a
it.
good comedy, right? But it's like it's weird that like on TV right now, right? Just going back, and I'm one of those people that really enjoyed the Big Bang Theory. I know that a lot of people hated it, um, because I understood the jokes. Like, oh, that's freaking hilarious. So to me, that show, as annoying as it was to some people, right? I think it was very good and funny. So
The
yeah,
PS4 Xbox One episode was pretty good. When
yeah,
Sheldon's trying to get pick which one and he can't, he's
yeah.
like tons of
Almost
left.
9 years ago, it hits you hard.
I know.
Reality hits you hard, bro. Cause it's man, it's crazy. Cause I think you saw it. The Wired had an article today about the first DVD. Today is like
I
what the
did. Yep.
25th out of
Twister.
yeah 25th anniversary of the first DVD that came out. It was Twister. Yeah, we owned it actually. Like
Nice.
back in the day, I think that was probably one of the first ones that we bought.
Obed, what a pioneer.
And we were in technology. So at the time we were doing really well. So, um,
Nice, nice.
no, we had a pretty decent home theater, and as soon as DVD was affordable, we jumped on it. So,
Very nice.
yeah, and I remember watching Twister on DVD and just coming from VHS because we still had a bunch of like VHS, but when you watch like that first DVD, you're like, yeah, it's like it just blows away VHS. And then I mean, what 10 years later we got Blu-ray, and
Yep.
that was another big step. Although for me, um, the big step was going from analog connections to HDMI. That was the real that was the real deal there, man.
Kids will never know.
Yeah, no, they will never. They will never know. I show my daughter. It's like, hey, look at this thing. That looks so old. I was like, well, that's how it looked like back then. Oh, okay. Like
Everything was those.
she already knows that 4:3 means that it's old. Like aspect ratio,
Wow.
yeah. She knows it's like, oh, that's old. How do you know? Because it has the black things on the sides.
I
Yeah.
remember between like going from analog to HDMI, you had a lot of the composite versus the component cables,
Oh
right?
yeah,
That it
yeah,
was also like
yeah,
kind of going in between there, and oh man,
yeah. S video, just to
S
confuse
video.
everyone. Um, yeah, S video was good. I ran my PS2 off of S video for pretty much since I had it, and I bought a TV with S video, and it looked good.
Hmm.
It was good. Like you can tell the difference, right? Um, but going from like S video or composite to component cables, and then over to HDMI, that was like when HDMI came out, I was like, oh, this is just so
Game
much better.
changer. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first HDMI was awful though. It was super spotty, and I remember my PS3 and that first HD TV that I had, the stinking Westinghouse TV that still cost 800 and some dollars for a 32-inch TV. And
Wow.
bro, then I remember the HDMI just crapping out. And I have to like unplug the cable and plug it back in because HDCP was busted at the beginning for all those TVs. Man, yeah, kids would never know. They would never know. Yeah, it's funny because I showed my daughter yesterday. We were watching YouTube, right? And I showed her a video of like stuff that I used to rent when I was her age at like the video store, right? And she appreciated it. She was like, "Oh yeah, that looks cool," because I know that you like robots and all this stuff. So I was like, "Oh sure," you know, show her a bunch of videos of mechs and whatnot. I was like, "Oh
Oh
okay, yeah." So
yeah.
so how do you like went to the store and you just buy the Blu-ray? No, I was like, no. It was oh, it's like the big one because you've seen it like
Yeah.
it's like the big one, yeah, yeah. So it's like the big one, and then you kind of like borrow it from the store. You give them money and you borrow it, and you have to take it back. And oh, okay, I see. So I had to explain the whole video store, video rental to her, and it was pretty good. Um,
See,
that,
see,
mhm.
I don't know. I don't know if you like if both like the video store rental, whether it was Blockbuster or any of those home family ones, or also like just going to the library. I don't know if you were into that at all at
Back
any
in
point
the
as well.
yeah,
You
back
know,
in the 2000s, yeah. When
they
I
had
moved here,
so many VHSs and all this
yeah.
just filled with. Now I can only imagine. It's
Yeah,
like
well,
nothing.
that's here because in PR we didn't the libraries didn't have
Yeah,
like an actual like video library, right?
yeah.
But when we moved here and they had DVDs, yeah, man, like we would go to the library, and
Oh
man,
yeah.
I ripped so many CDs from the library. Just like, I don't just rip them on my computer.
Oh, bit of this FBI confessional right now.
Hey, you know what? It was for
Don't
personal. It was for personal use.
what's
I'm not
no, you
putting it
weren't
out there.
selling anything.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
but but like that scene in the first Transformers, right? Where
Yeah.
like they're like questioning in the interrogation room, and he's like,
He's
"Sure, I've
just a
downloaded a couple
criminal.
of
Yeah.
songs. Who hasn't? Who
Yeah,
hasn't? Like
yeah.
that's you,
Couple
right?
thousand songs on the internet. Who hasn't?
Who
Yeah,
hasn't done that?
yeah.
It's a LimeWire, right?
See, but yeah. I never was big into like Kazaa and LimeWire and all that. As the viruses were
Yeah. Oh
were
yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah. But I rip them. Like I would go to the library, I would rip them, and I would just put on the PS3 because the PS3 you could rip
Same.
CDs to it.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Pop
So
that thing in and
yeah, you rip them.
copy it.
Man, that's crazy. So yeah, it was very interesting. Explaining to a kid how she was very receptive though. I was pretty I was pleased because I've seen some kids like, oh yeah, it's old. I don't want to do that because it's old. Um, but no, like she's interested in like old consoles and all that. So it's a pretty good time every time we get to talk console history. The other day I was taking her to school and it was like all the way to school she was asking questions about old consoles, about
Wow.
music and and I was like, oh well, back in the day you had to like program the music and then Sega used this different thing and then arcades used different things and then the Super Nintendo changed everything because they had samples and it's just oh so that's why it sounds different. Yeah. So man, couldn't ask for a better friend.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, man, I just been watching just random crap on YouTube for the last week. It's like I just want to see like dumb meme videos and people falling
Oh,
and dash
those are pretty funny.
and dash cam videos from
Oh yeah.
those are always great.
They catch your attention.
Yeah, man. So that's what I've been doing, dash camming. Yeah.
I feel
Joe.
like in Florida is one of the best places to have a
Oh
dash cam
yeah.
because I'm not saying like it doesn't happen other places. There's plenty of stuff, but Florida every day it's an
Yeah,
adventure of
dude.
some kind. You see stuff.
Yep. Life advice: if you ever move to Florida, drive as if other drivers are out to kill you. so, so you know, be
Florida
on the
man drivers. My goodness.
defensive before braking on a traffic light. Look back. Make sure
Yeah.
there's no one behind you, because
Yep.
chances are you're gonna get caught.
It's crazy. It is
it's
crazy
it's nuts,
in
man.
Florida. I don't know the stories, the things you
Yeah,
see. It's very, very wild.
it's gotten a little Puerto Rican-y.
Hey, he said it,
Hey,
guys.
hey,
He's allowed to say it.
I'm allowed to say it.
He's allowed to say it.
Still
Although I
not.
am the most interesting man.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, got it from Family Guy. Yeah, man.
Fast and Furious
It's
out here.
it's
Family.
wild. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah. PR is wild too, man. Yeah. Yeah. Like if you look, if you, it's funny, right? Because we used to have this saying. It's like if you drive in PR, you can drive anywhere in the world. But it's like, have you seen those videos from like Delhi
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Mumbai?
Yeah.
Bro, it's out of control. It's like there's no lines. Like they just go anywhere. It's like what the
Didn't
hell?
you say in PR, like after a certain time, like red lights, you can just drive through or something like
Yeah, it's
that?
like
Like,
after 2 in the morning or something.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
it's messed up.
you can just keep going.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that still holds, right?
Yeah.
But that used to be a thing,
Oh my gosh.
dude. It's wild. And then like if we were driving up to the mountain and then you have this one lane roads that you have to like snake around a mountain basically, right? It's like if you find a truck, you have to like park to the side and let him pass because there's nothing you can do, right?
Wow.
It's yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
If you drive in PR, you can drive in a circuit here, like a racing circuit. Yeah, man,
Yep.
it's good stuff. Yeah,
Oh man, that's amazing.
like the drifting videos from Japan. I was like, I've seen the. It's like those Japanese like mountain roads. It's like, bro, it's still like a 2 lane road. It's like no PR,
Yeah.
you get like a 1 lane, dude. It's like it's like it's 1 lane without guardrails. That's how crazy it is, right? And then
I can't deal with this dude.
the only guardrail is probably gonna be the tree that you're gonna hit if you're trying to fall down. It's bonkers.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. This
Yeah,
is
man.
crazy,
It's
man.
crazy, dude.
I can't. That's not like
And
what?
it's still to this day.
I mean, how
It's
many
still like that.
years?
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's
If
crazy.
you're going up to the mountain, dude, yeah, dude,
Then
you're
again, it
done.
took us how long in Florida to get I-4, fixed.
Oh,
So
but it's great now. Like,
yeah, now it's great. Yeah.
yeah, it's. I mean, it took almost 5 years, right? Yeah, about 5 years.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
it took a while.
it would have been four, but COVID. But yeah, yeah, man, that's crazy.
VR, man.
You can drive anywhere in the world, but then you can just see those videos from like India, bro. It's like out of
Amazing.
control, out of
It's
control. No
yeah, you're like, this
lines.
is this real life?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, Joe, we got a few things to talk about today. It's been a good conversation. But you know what? Let's start with the Batman since you brought it up.
Yeah, sure.
Um, there was a deleted scene that got out there featuring Barry Keoghan, right? Keegan
Yeah.
as the Joker. I watched it because it's a deleted scene. It's probably was not going to have any relevance in the movie, right? That's my thinking behind it. So I watched it. It's interesting. Okay, he's a good actor. He was my favorite part of the Eternals,
Eternals. Yeah.
right? That said, I am just not a big fan of like disfigured Joker, like this one and the
Leto.
no, not Leto, but Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Uh, Leto was see,
Tattooed and stuff.
yeah, that was the tattoos
Busted
and
out teeth.
whatnot. Yeah, like Jack Nicholson, still disfigured, right? But it's different.
It's different.
I
Yeah.
I know where they're going, right, with this, but I'm just not a big fan of that type of Joker. No, you know, I'm more of a Phoenix guy. It's just a dude,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing to it, right? It's just a lot more organic, in my opinion. That said, I think that the performance was real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I could see where this scene could fit in the movie, right? I haven't watched it, but I could totally see where it could fit. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so it's so funny too, because like this came out like right as I was on my way to the movie theater
Oh, nice.
to watch it. Like I'm on my way. I was not driving, by the way, and I opened up I want to be clear about that. And now we're just
Watch
talking
it in the
about
car.
PR and all that driving. I got to be clear about.
But
But
but bro, have you seen the people like on 408 driving FaceTiming, bro?
I can't do it, man. I've seen. I don't know what's going on.
How?
I don't know. Put your phone
How?
down. If you have an iPhone, be thankful that you can dictate to Siri to send a text for you, and or you got your Bluetooth to pick up your thing. You don't need to be doing all this. It's too much.
It's
But
ridiculous.
anyways,
Yeah.
uh, so I was not driving, but I open up my Twitter app and I see the tweet from the director Matt Reeves, which is basically a riddle, right? To be able to now, Obed, I have to talk some level of spoilers to talk about this.
Okay, okay.
I apologize.
That's okay.
I
That's
don't
okay.
think it's gonna ruin the movie, to be honest with you.
All right.
Or else I wouldn't. But we got to get to you. So like the end credits is not an end credit scene. You just get a URL that flashes. I mean, I'm talking like too fast. Like you can only catch
Okay.
it if you took a picture with your phone, which is what people did to get it, right?
Okay.
So it's the same website that he uses to crack the Riddler's code in the movie that he gets from Penguin, right? So the whole like joke about the rata lata, it's la rata, like the whole thing, right? Anyways, so like that website they use as a marketing point to be able to you had to decode it to be able to get this video.
Oh, got it.
And the riddles that you had were also exposing how like in the end you always face right like a familiar foe, right? Well, who would that of course be? Joker. Now this sequence, I'm glad it was cut from the movie. It doesn't add to it,
Because that's
and
an
it doesn't take away. Like, to be honest with you, the only thing it adds to it is a cool moment where you actually see the Joker, right? Like in this movie, you only have a glimpse of the Joker. I have to. I saw as if like that's just how it
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah, like
So
95% of it is blurred out. So
right, you can't really see his, you can't really see him, right? You can't see him there, and then the sequence that you get in the movie, you can't really see Joker, right? So the one they kept in the movie, totally perfect because it's more of like kind of reminds me like Batman Begins, right? Where they're kind of showing like, hey, there's another
yeah,
thing that's
yeah.
coming about, right? Where it ends where he gets the
Mhm.
card, right? So similar to that, and it's also very symbolic, right? Because the next movie is gonna be probably around the I believe it's No Man's Land or No Island, or it's a comic book I'm not as familiar with from Batman, to be honest with you. I don't think most are, but maybe there are people out there I've heard. But um, anyways, I say all that to say, like, they purposely show you that Joker already has been locked up because he's already has faced Batman before, but
Mhm.
he's not actually fully become Joker yet. So the director did like a whole video with IGN. I recommend that for those of you seen the movie, go ahead and check it out. He did an interview basically before this came out, like depicting what was with the scene, what the idea was. But it's basically similar to like what you got in the Long Halloween, which this movie loosely adapts, right? Where it's like there's a serial killer, he does this stuff on a holiday. Well, I got to start talking to another killer to be able to find out the mind of a killer. And so, like in the Long Halloween, where he talks like the Calendar Man, whatever. Like in this one, say he talks to Joker. So I think like from that, like I said, let's say like from that standpoint, if it was in the movie, it's more like trying to adapt the Long Halloween, like in that kind of idea. So cool, but I'm glad they took it out because I told you the movie's long, and in my opinion, I'd say it's too long to be honest with you. It's a really good movie, love it, but I don't think it needed this extra 2-3 minute scene. The performance from Keegan as Joker, absolutely fine. I like it. It's good. If you watch the sequence, it shows you kind of that's the whole tone of the entire movie is exactly like what that sequence is like, and it takes itself very serious the whole time. No light, very dark the whole time, just like that. And I, to be honest, it felt like to me, if that scene felt like it was more of like a let's just see the Joker, then it didn't like the Joker doesn't
Yeah.
give him any information about this guy. Just
Yeah.
oh, it's very personal for him, and it's this, and like it doesn't give you anything about the Riddler that's of importance or anything that's maybe even deeper. So like it just felt very like forced, to be honest. If they would have put that in the movie, so I'm glad they didn't, and like it's like also felt like I'm just trying being real. Like it felt like it's trying to be deep. Like if you know what I'm saying. Like it
Mm,
felt like it was like it's trying to be this really epic thing because we have Joker, we have Batman, and
yeah.
I don't think it worked the way it would have if people maybe would have thought if it was in the movie. So good call on the director. I think whatever they're gonna do more when you write a story around Joker will be pretty cool. Unfortunately, I do feel like he's a little nerfed. Like if he's already been beat up like that badly by Batman before, right? Like you're showing him to that extent, like,
Yeah.
and he's just locked up in Arkham, and he's not even fully the Joker yet. I don't really feel that threatened by him. Like in the whole sequence, I didn't really feel like Batman was like, threatened by this guy. He just was
That
like
yeah.
he's a lunatic, and I'm just talking to him.
That's what made the Heath Ledger Batman. Excuse me. So
Exactly.
I guess iconic is because he was unpredictable. Like you didn't know what the next step was gonna be,
Yep.
and made it the total opposite to Batman, where Batman is just plan everything. He was just make it up as you
Chaos.
go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And just having that, uh, I guess, mystery or surrounding the character, and you don't know who he is because it's like no IDs, no nothing, right? They said in Dark Knight,
Yep.
and just having it be this, no person that is the complete opposite to Batman. It just played
Amazing.
much better. Um, yeah,
So
I don't know. I like again. It's just that I'm just not a big fan of the gross like Joker stuff, and to me, like when I think Joker, right? I think the whenever someone says the Joker, I always picture the I think it's a cover, right? It's the Joker wearing a tuxedo with like Harley.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's what I
I
pictured,
thought you were
right?
gonna be talking about this one for a
Yeah.
second.
Uh, no, see, that's a little bit more deranged, and that's fine,
Yeah.
right? But um, but it's more like the clown prince of crime sort of thing, right? It's like it's a dude that's crazy, and you know, and basically controls the Gotham underworld by chaos. So
I agree with you. Like my interpretation of Joker, that's which I think is why the movie worked, is the Joker movie, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Like
yeah,
to me, that's how I've always looked at it. Now, what Heath Ledger did, I absolutely
Oh
love.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, there's
No
no,
question, no question.
no, I
Yeah,
mean, not to be, it killed the dude. He was so good. Like, he was,
right.
it really
Yeah,
affected him because it was so good. But, yeah, I mean, like I'm happy that he tried to do something different to some extent. Right. And I think that's what was cool that the actor put a tweet out with the video saying like, respect to those who came before me. Now see my interpretation of the character. I respect that a lot. I think he did a good job. Like I like it. I know it's very on theme for me with how I felt about the movie as a whole. Like it's really good, and it's not like you can't say anything bad about. Like it's really cool. It's just I don't know, man. Like
yeah.
I guess because we have these amazing, like when you have movies like Joker or when you have movies like The Dark Knight, it's like unfortunately you compare everything to that, and what this movie does is
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
So I feel bad because I shouldn't be comparing this to anything and just looking at it as individually,
I
but I
know.
can't
Yeah.
help because it's a
Oh,
legacy character.
absolutely.
I,
Yeah.
you know,
There's no question, right? And even the with all the problems that the Leto Joker had in Suicide Squad,
yeah,
um, I think that the bit he did on Justice League was really really good.
I know,
So and this was good, right? Because this was like super mental and deranged and weird, but I I'm just not a fan of the design. I guess that's what I'm trying to
yeah,
say. Yeah.
yeah,
It's too much. It's like too edgy, right?
yeah.
I
Well, and that's the thing. The look that you get of him in the actual movie, because this is the first time we actually see him better. Like we get a better look at him in this scene,
hmm
but in the other one we get in the movie, it's like some people thought it was Two Face because you
it's
couldn't
too
like the
messed
way
up.
it looks
Yeah.
from the side, and all you see is the side, and you see the hair and like scars. Only because he makes a clown reference, you're like, oh, that's Joker for sure. But at first you're like, could be Harvey Dent.
Yeah. It's just that I'm not just not
Yeah,
a big
I give
fan
that
of
to
the
the design, the
design.
makeup
Yeah.
team. Yeah, maybe too much.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little overboard. It's
Yeah,
in my opinion, right? But
yeah. But
you
again,
know.
it's still really good performance. Really, I look
Yeah, yeah,
forward to seeing
exactly.
Joker
Nothing
again
against the
more.
performance. It's
Nope.
just that the makeup just doesn't work for me. Like
Yep.
the character design that just doesn't work. Like the Phoenix design, it's to me that's like perfect Joker, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just a dude with face paint
In a
and
suit.
a suit. That to me is the perfect Joker, right? So, um, looking forward to see what they do in the future. Hopefully, they can retcon the look, and I guess we'll see. So, uh, very very interesting. Speaking of Suicide Squad, you just mentioned now. Um, your most anticipated game of the year is getting delayed until next year.
Is that not the theme with DC? I mean, even if it's a movie or a game at this point, I mean, Gotham Knights, right? Finally got a date for that. Um, Obed,
I don't
it's
know.
only real until it's in your hands, right?
It's yeah, and I'm probably gonna skip this game anyway. It's just that I'm just not that it doesn't click for me.
Yeah.
Even after and the gameplay stuff that they showed, right, it looked very good, but it's just it just doesn't click, right, and that's unfortunate. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The game can come out and it's probably gonna be a masterpiece. Who knows? Uh,
It'll be better than Gotham Knights.
But yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to Gotham Knights more than I am for this game for some reason. And in Rocksteady is like a top tier
Yes.
like developer, right? But I think that just these characters just don't work for me, man. It's like I don't know. I don't know where the you know the choices were made, and again, I could be wrong, but it's yeah. Suicide Squad, I guess, killed the Justice League. Yep, and it's gonna be delayed to spring 2023. Was supposed to come out fall this year. No specific date was given before. Same now. No specific date for 2023. But yeah, not sure what's happening. At I'm sure what's happening. Right, it's just COVID delays and whatnot, and it is what it is, and every game is getting delayed. but it seemed like for some reason the WB games got the brunt of it, because they like WB games, they do the Lego game too.
Yeah,
Uh, so they're the studio that does the Lego games is owned by WB Games. So all of them got delayed. Like at this point, we'll see Wonder Woman on the PS6. I don't know.
I know. I was talking to someone about that the other day. That tease for the Wonder Woman game.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to share. I'm fine with games getting delayed if it's for them to polish and make sure that everything works as intended. So
It's the right time to announce the delay too. Like people can get their
yeah,
expectations in check.
yep,
It's not too like, oh, it's supposed to come out 2 weeks and here we go. Like
yeah,
this was gonna be a later one. So, but yeah, I mean, like it's not a game I feel like that broke the internet anyway. So announcing a delay, people will be like, oh, that's too bad. At least we get it. Like at least we get Gotham Knights this year if you're into the
yeah,
DC properties, on your console. So
yeah. I was not surprised at all that
yeah.
that this was delayed. There's rumors that NetherRealm is working on another like superhero fighting game. I don't know if it's going to be Injustice 3 or something
Oh, that'd be
different.
cool. Yeah.
Um, so who knows what they're working on? There's multiple projects going on at WB. Um, they still haven't gotten bought by anyone because I heard that AT&T / Discovery was looking to offload the game studio to someone else. So
Mm.
probably not Disney because they would probably close it down. Um, but it should be interesting if someone picks it up, like
Oh yeah.
Microsoft or PlayStation. Although I don't think Microsoft is going to be making big acquisitions in the near future, right? I think they just spent all their money. It's
I
like
know.
we got this is the money we got. Okay, let's spend all the money and then let's go. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting come June, and we'll get some information out during the E3 time, and yeah, we'll see. Joel, before we jump into the huge bummer here, um, I got two of them actually.
Oh,
Um, two bits of news regarding PlayStation. The first one is that PlayStation is going to acquire Jade Raymond's Haven Studio, or Haven Entertainment Studios. Um, Very interesting. This is a very small team, around 60 people. Um, I think they saw potential. I know that they had a partnership already, right? But it's interesting that they bought the studio, not Kojima Productions.
smaller. Yeah, smaller group.
Yeah. I mean, Kojima still runs like a tight ship, small studio, but um, it's very interesting. They must be working on something that's crucial to, I guess, the future plan. I know that Jade has experience with game streaming and all that. She was part of the Stadia team at the when Stadia launched. So I don't know. I don't know what they're working on. I know that you're a big fan of her work, so I don't know. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, it's nothing that it's nothing that makes me go like I gotta run home and tell everybody. Guess what? They did this move and they bought the right. Like it
Yeah.
won't mean much to most people,
Yep.
but it feels like we're in such a monopoly these days. We're like little by
It's
little,
gonna be
like
like
this
that,
and this
man.
idea of independent. It's like it's gonna come down to like the two alpha dogs really like owning all these studios under them at some point.
And then here's
'Cause this
Nintendo making all the money on the other
and
side.
then there's
Yeah.
Nintendo. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's good. The good point. But I mean, like, for PlayStation, good addition. But nothing that's I feel is gonna be, uh, you know, it's not as big as Bungie, right? Like
Oh
Bungie
no no
was
no no.
was was awesome.
Yeah yeah yeah.
That was awesome. This one here, like, you got a good, talented group, good storytellers, and I feel like Kojima. I feel like that's still in the cards. I
Yeah.
bet you like the negotiations are just something that's constantly being had, because I don't think that there's nothing there, right? There's been smoke there for a while, so
Yeah. And Kojima still like the last few weeks is he's being like openly talking
yeah,
about Metal Gear and bringing it up. Oh, which by the way, did you see the Oscar Isaac thing with Metal Gear?
I did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess they're still working on that. So I guess we'll figure that out. Um, but it's interesting. Yeah. It's an interesting acquisition. They have to be working on something. That's Sony said. Okay, yeah, we gotta be a part of this. So yeah,
Yeah,
hoping to see.
I remember for a while Square Enix was something that was being rumored, right, with
That
Sony,
that
and
that's still like um
I, I don't know.
that's still could potentially happen
Okay.
later this year. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be.
Obed's making a prophecy now.
I think
At
Joe.
some point this year.
I think Joe that you remember the Microsoft show a couple years ago at E3 when they bought everything.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the Sony show this year. It's gonna be we're buying this, we're buying this, like at least three. That's my prediction for the Sony like E3 thing. Excuse me, is that they're going to announce that they are um, purchasing. It's going to be at least three studios. So
Wow.
it's my prediction. Take it or leave it. I don't know. But yeah, um, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. All right, Gran Turismo 7. So GT7 came out a couple of weeks ago. Reviews were really good, but then microtransactions happen, and I'm not. I don't have a full grasp of what's happening, right? But the way that I understand it is that there's you can purchase credits to get. You can buy a Genie Plus almost. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Is that okay? So like on top of your like full price, right? If you want to get into the front of the line, you have to pay an extra, and that's almost to me what it sounds like, right? I haven't I'm not super big into like sim racers, but to me the that's what it sounds like. You can buy credits to get ahead and buy your cars, buy your licenses, buy your stuff, and yeah, they got review bombed on Metacritic. Let me go check now because it was pretty rough. But I, I wasn't expecting this from Sony and the Gran Turismo team. So it truly is a huge bummer. So the Metacritic score, right, for the game it's 87, which is a very good score for Metacritic, but the user score is at 1.7.
They really bombed it.
Yeah. So not again. I wish I because I've seen it in the news. Right. I've been busy. I just haven't had time to really catch up on it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what comes out of that. But Joel, what do you think of this?
Obviously, like when it comes to microtransactions, this has got to be a lesson for everybody. Again, like we can't be having these discussions now in 2022, man. Like this is not right. Some from what I briefly looked over with this, some say it was a glitch where after server maintenance and this reset the economy for some people because the game, right, it's in-game currency, like they're
Correct.
buying stuff, right, but like here's the thing, like if this is a racing game, right, this is a competitive racing game. You can't get away from the point of anything that affects the competitiveness, whether that's a vehicle being, I don't know, faster or having certain abilities that the other vehicles don't have with an equal opportunity to get those things. has to instantly be flagged, and it can't be left to the interpretation that players are just going to be okay with some guy having more money than him and being able to spec it out. That not just makes it a cooler thing, but actually like literally a better machine, a better vehicle, like without earning it the same way the other guy did by, you know, doing his laps, doing a story mode, whatever it is, right? I'm not big like you, I'm not big into the game. Like this is very fundamentals, right? This is not nothing new. I hope, Obed, that we don't have to keep having these discussions about microtransactions, but here are these guys again, like after the Battlefront stuff, and we talked about that at length for a
Oh
while.
yeah, we had
That
like
was
5 episodes talking about Battlefront and
yeah.
all that stuff.
Numbers went up on the show though. People love controversy,
Yeah, yeah, for
but
sure, for sure.
but I mean, it's not something that's like nothing that wants you want to have synonymous with the gaming space, right? The competitive gaming space, and I hope that we don't have this discussion again soon because this is crazy, man. Like
Yeah,
I don't know how they can look at this and be like, no, nobody will notice, you know,
I know,
like
and it's frustrating when it happens to a beloved franchise like Gran
right.
Turismo, because Gran Turismo is like it's the granddaddy, right? They're sim racers. They're the one. Those the guys that invented it. So it's frustrating to see that that's the the path that they chose. If this would have been something else, like say for example a free to play Gran Turismo where you can either start with your stock car or you can just pay whatever, you know, a package 10, 15, 20, $25 to get your starter package, and then from there you basically go in and either earn or get your stuff, then it would have been fine. But um it was like it seems to me that this was more of a hey, pay the money, you don't have to do this thing to level up, and then you can just be in this awesome race. So it stinks. I'm gonna see if over the weekend or I'm gonna be super busy this weekend, but I'm gonna see if I can get some clarification, and then hopefully
Yeah,
next week we can come back
let's have a
and talk
follow up
about
on
it.
it.
Yeah, we'll follow up on it.
I'll look into it more myself. I don't want to say
Yeah,
too much
correct. Yeah, because I mean I don't want to give out information that is not accurate, but
misleading.
correct. Yeah,
We're
so
not a
that's
fake news network.
no. So we'll come back and follow up on this. So we'll have it on I guess an additional docket for next week. But Joel, our friends at Activision are back in the news because there is a fresh, brand new lawsuit, which one quote from the person. And again, we're gonna talk about a sensitive topic. Don't do it often, but with it's we have to talk about it. It's unfortunate. We talked about it when it happened before at Activision, and we were distraught and angry about it. And you can go back and watch those videos. But what was described as an alcohol soaked culture of sexual harassment. That I mean, it's in line with what we've heard in the past, right? Um, and it's crazy. This is this is not from the old guys that were there some years ago or whatnot. This was allegedly happened between November and December of last year. So, you know, 3-4 months ago. Um, yeah, man. I mean, the talk about buying a bag of hurt with Microsoft. I mean, I know why they did it, right? But
Oh yeah,
the problem is that unless you just get rid of everyone and just start from zero, these things are gonna keep popping up. And I don't know how much of this sort of coverage Microsoft would want. But if they want to keep their image, right, I think that like fundamental changes need to happen at Activision. I heard today, Joel, that Microsoft is open to letting Activision themselves unionize, which is a good start if they actually let them, right? As far as I know, Microsoft doesn't have a union, right? And I'm talking about Microsoft, straight Microsoft. So that's a good start. Problem is that you can unionize, and then more of this stuff is going to come out because people are going to be encouraged to actually share their experiences. So, at the end of the day, um, major changes need to be done with leadership. I don't think that it's a good idea for Microsoft to keep any of the leadership. Honestly, um, and we can probably again even just to like middle management. I'm not talking about just high level executives, like middle management. I think they all gotta go. That's I think the problem is so rotten that there's no way around it, and you just have to make those cuts. So I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll be This is an update. Of course, we talked about when we talked about it last time. We said that we will update you guys on any other information that comes out there regarding this topic. But it really stinks that it happened again not too long ago. When was the Microsoft acquisition announced? Was it in January?
Was it January or was it last year?
I don't remember, man. Let me see.
I thought it was last year, but I can't remember. Fact
Uh,
checking on the show.
Fact checking on the show. I'm gonna go check.
When did Microsoft acquire?
It was showing like 3 days ago, but that's probably because they were saying that the things are looking good. So
Actually, I think it was January 18th,
there we go.
2022.
Okay. So I don't know, man. It's I don't think this is a problem Microsoft really wants to bring home with them, right? Um, I don't know.
But here's the thing, right? I agree. Like, if it's me, if I'm the guy wearing the suit, right? I'm saying I don't need this headache. Let it go, right? But at the same time, when you think like a suit, you understand that it's not always about buying what you're not buying what is already there. You're buying intellectual properties, right? Like the properties that come with Activision is what makes you perk up when you say you got a chance to have your Call of Duty and you have your chance to have your, Crash Bandicoot and all these amazing, names in the gaming industry. That's why they did it, right? I don't think they did it because they were like, man, that engineer, we got to keep him,
Oh yeah, yeah.
um, and so like for that standpoint, look, I don't wish anybody to have major losses, but wrong is wrong, and I also believe in consequences. I believe that, you know, if something has been wronged, whether it's on this earth or when you stand before God, things are going to have to be made right. And I would rather see that done here where these people don't have to live their lives, knowing that these guys can, just get a slap on the wrist and then keep on with their day to day. This really affects and is traumatizing
Yeah.
to people because these ladies are going to have to carry all these workers are going to have to carry these stories with them for the rest of their lives. This isn't just something they could just get up and walk away from like nothing.
Yeah.
It affected this lady's career. Talks about how in November of 2021, when she spoke out about certain things, and she had an application in to be an executive at the company. With all the stuff that she went through, this lady in this recent suit, wanted to even stay with the company and become an executive, was trying to help the culture by speaking out about how what's wrong is wrong, and they denied her the application right after having that press conference. And it's like you can't make this stuff up. Like that is textbook retaliation, and that's like if someone someone sticks through all the bad stuff, and wants to be with the company,
Just to
and
clar-
they're a victim of this stuff, like, come on, man.
yeah, just to clarify, it was an executive assistant.
Executive assistant.
Yeah.
Well, she was an executive assistant when she came in, but then later on, she
No,
applied to
no,
become
no, she applied. She applied for an open executive
open executive
assistant.
assistant. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Yes. Sorry. Thank you, sir.
No, no problems.
Yeah, it's one, but it's one of those like situations when you look at it and you're going like, I don't think, I don't think this is a good thing that to keep any of the people who make those decisions able to continue to make decisions. I'm not going to suggest anything, but we get what I'm putting down, and I think what you said is very accurate. If there's over 700 incidents reported, there's probably more than that, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I think these things were probably happening many times, but that's hearsay, it's speculation, right? But I would imagine it probably was really, really bad. And if it was happening so blatantly, then obviously everyone that had power was okay with it. You can't say that, oh, I wasn't okay with it, but I didn't do it. Like, you actually make decisions. If you're the little man, little person in this, you don't have a say. Those are the people that need to be evaluated individually.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who has a say, that's where it starts to become more troubling. We don't usually talk about this stuff like you mentioned, but we've been covering this story for a while now because
Yep.
it's so impactful to the gaming space. Activision is a mammoth in name, right? Like you mentioned, Obed. Not necessarily always the games that we might be crazy about, but it is something to take note of because of
Oh,
their
absolutely.
influence in the culture. And so to know that not only were they doing these great products that people really loved, but people's personal lives who work for these companies was like a living hell. That's the stuff that just makes us as gamers be like, you cannot let that kind of stuff carry on. Very passionate about doing the right thing. Some will say, "Oh, it's just accusations." I'm sorry. There's so many stories here that I say the same thing over and over. I may not know every detail. I'm not going to
Yeah.
pretend to know every detail. I'm not going to accuse everybody of everything. But I will say, where there is smoke, there is fire.
Yeah.
There's already been admission of many things by many people. I don't think the LA justice system wouldn't be taking a look at this if they didn't have something that they can truly put their finger on. So there's something there. I'm sure more facts will come out as time goes on. I'm sure there's going to be some out of this lawsuit. This is going to highlight some more things, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of interviews. And Obed, I'm sure we'll have updates because more is going to come
Yeah,
out about this when you
for
have
sure.
a case like this coming about. Like, we're going to have stuff to talk about that's going to be it's gonna go beyond the accusations. They're gonna have some stories that people really give that probably back up some things. I think to some extent because clearly there's a lot of people's stories right now. A lot of lawsuits coming against it. There's a new one, right, that we're
Yeah.
talking about. It's not another. So yeah,
Correct. This adds to the pile, right? It's
yeah,
man, it's crazy.
it's not good, not good.
I really don't know. I'm hoping that the end game is that they're able to unionize, and that way they can just get rid of all these like people, ultimately, right? Um, I don't. Again, having this be part of Microsoft. I mean, it's not part of Microsoft yet, right? But say, for example, the deal goes through, something like this blows up while under Microsoft. I don't think Microsoft wants that headache.
It'd be safer to have a clean house.
Exactly.
Because then like things can still happen, unfortunately, because we live
Correct.
in a real world, but you're not saying it's the same regime that has a history.
I would say, Mike, man, as as awful as it sounds, right? Because we're talking about people's livelihoods here,
Yeah, oh
but
yeah,
I
seriously.
think that you know, unfortunately, I think here's what Microsoft should do, right? And of course, this is gonna take, how many employees do they have? Like 15,000 employees, right? It's pretty big. Let me see. Activation. How many employees? 9,500.
A lot.
So So you could potentially go and talk to all the non-management employees and get feedback, like straight up, and you act accordingly. That's the I mean, I don't want people to get fired, right? But if how about if you don't
Things
want to
have
get
to happen.
yeah, exactly. It's like how about you don't if you don't want to get fired, just don't be a douche. Like it's
Yeah.
it's that
Or don't
simple.
allow that to be what happens under, like, if you're
Exactly.
seeing, it is what I say, right? Like, if there's something going on that you'd be ashamed of your mother, your family, like people seeing this kind of stuff, there's probably something there that
Yeah.
as a man of faith, there's a little voice inside of you. There's something there that you're like, that's probably that's too much, right? And it's clearly was not a professional environment. It was a frat boy
Yeah.
environment, so they refer to it as. And you're telling me the story. It's like, and here she's saying about being forced to take shots. What, like, that's inappropriate, right? Being forced to play these games that were clearly not games that are any not fun games is what I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm with you. Like, if you're somebody who either one did that, if you were superior taking advantage of people, or if you were superior who allowed people in front of you to take, and you knew, because clearly there's over 700 reports is what we're being told, right? Like, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say straight up something, but you know what I'm saying, and something's gotta be done there. I'm sure there's gonna be more updates to the story. I will let the case play out, is what I will say.
Yeah. Uh, Man, it's gonna be very interesting to see how Microsoft responds to all this um and how they I guess respond to everything that's happening and everything that has happened in the past, right?
Yeah.
How does Microsoft um take those employees that are still with Activision that have gone through this? How do they go back and say, hey, it's like, listen, we're not going to allow this to happen anymore? But they don't get rid of the people that are causing the problem.
Yeah.
That's and that's
It's
and
not
that's
it's
how
not
to
gonna
do
be
it.
good. Yeah.
Um, in related news, actually, I didn't have it in the docket, but I remembered, right. Um, and this one is super unfortunate because I think those games are works of art. But the Moon Studios, the developers of the Ori games, like Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, they've also been out there because of oppressive and sexist
Wow.
work environment. Um, you know, this is something that's been plaguing uh, gaming studios for a while, and it really sucks to see a studio of this caliber go through this kind of crap. I mean, if I read a tweet of someone retweeted someone that used to work at Moon, and she said that it was that was the most miserable period of her life when she was working there. So
Wow.
it's yeah, man. I mean, what you know
Wow.
you have to be strict, right? If you there's deadlines, there's all this stuff, and we understand, right? It's not that we just go to work and we just hang out and not get stuff done, right? There's deadlines, there's things that need to be done. But the problem is that you don't want, like, why come in and insult me, bro? You know, why treat me like a lesser person? That don't do that. It's like, honestly, like, I see it, it's really frustrating, right? Because at the same time it's like, man, I could be in that position and I would never treat a person like that, honestly. Like, it's tough. It's tough. I really don't know what else could be done. I mean, it's everything's public now. Like,
Yeah.
these things could probably fly back in the 80s and 90s, right? But you know people are vocal now. They're not like, especially younger people. They're not. They don't. I mean, to their detriment, they don't stay quiet. And in some cases, there's a benefit to that, because we saw with boomers and some Gen Xers too. Like they work their entire life, and they, excuse my language, bust their balls just to have a good life, right? But they're miserable at their work, and they have to endure insults. Back to the Future too, right? When Biff comes in and crashes George McFly's car and treats him like crap. And dude, this like boomers were used to that crap. Like they were treated like crap at work. And now this is like, oh, you guys are too soft. It's like, oh, you're an idiot for not speaking out. That's exactly what it is, right? Unfortunately, they're wrong. Like if I'm working a job, I don't need to be stepped on. Honestly, I don't have to take it. So,
Yeah.
and that's great about this generation, right? About the younger generation, Gen Zs and millennials to some extent. They, we they put things out there and they say it. I'm a late Gen Xer, but I'm the same way, right? And even when I was coming into the workforce, and I saw things and was treated a certain way, I just quietly left. It's like, all right, I found me another job. I'm leaving. Bye. And and that's what you do, man. I mean, that's all you can do. Honestly, it's like look for another opportunity and go quietly. It's like, oh, what about your workload? I don't care. I don't work here anymore. It's you know, it's tough, right? Because some of us have that sense of responsibility, but at the same time, you got to look out for yourself, and you got to look out for your mental well being, and honestly, you got to do what you got to do. So
Yeah, and taking care of your emotional well-being, like it's draining,
it is,
It's
yeah,
draining.
yeah. So uh, guys that are still out there going through this, you know, it gets better, but it probably won't get better until you leave. So Joel's breaking down his room over there.
Yeah, there's something that keeps falling over here. I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, right when I'm
It's,
doing the podcast,
it's
right?
annoying you. It's been
I
annoying you for like the last 15
It
minutes.
has been, dude. I'm like, once they end the show, I'm like, all right,
All right, wrap it up, man.
no, 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 no. I know, right? No, I mean, like, it's very serious, the stuff we just talked about, and we want you guys to know, like, we support true justice. Like, we're not, like
I'm
it's
justice.
yeah, vengeance. Sorry,
Vengeance.
um, but it's also one of those points where we don't talk about this kind of stuff enough, but at the same point, like we don't want to um make it sound like everything's terrible. There's a lot of great stuff that comes out of Activision, these other places. It's just, man, it's so sad when you have these headlines because, like, to just tell somebody, I can't just tell somebody like, hey, just quit and just go get another job. Like, people are mentally, emotionally drained. It's hard sometimes. Like, there's so many factors. Maybe they got to go home. Maybe they're a single parent. Whatever's There's so many factors that go on with these people, and no one should be forced to have to leave the job that maybe they want. Like, there's people who would love to work at Activision. I think, there are people who would love to work for these companies, and they should want to love to be there. And I think that's where I put the
Oh,
responsibility
absolutely,
on the company at the end of the
absolutely.
day to make the right choice, to do
Yeah,
the right thing and do right by the people. And so,
yeah. If you
man, I
want to
just
work
hope it
at
gets,
EA,
you know,
like man, it's crazy that EA
yeah.
hasn't been in the news for a while. They've been quietly doing their thing.
Hey, they probably change things around.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly,
Probably have new policies and stuff.
yeah,
That's what happens. When you
yeah.
learn your lessons, that's good enough for me.
Yep. Do you see that they opened a new office
Learn
here
your,
in downtown?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Good for them, man.
yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely keep you guys updated. But Joe, go ahead and wrap things up.
Absolutely. Everyone, thank you again so much for watching, listening to our show. We encourage you to stay subscribed. So, subscribe to our audio version on podcast platforms, the podcast platform of your choice. That could be Apple Music, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and other platforms. Make sure to subscribe on those platforms and also subscribe to the video version on our YouTube channel. You can watch our videos of all of our recordings. You can go to past episodes. You can drop us a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. We'd really appreciate that. Also, if you would follow us on our social media at No Load Time, that's at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also are on Twitch where we're broadcasting the recordings of our episodes. So you can follow us on Twitch, No Load Time, all together. You'll find us there. Also, we invite you, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you please send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe, just maybe, your email, your question could be read even on the show. Thank you again so much for your time, and we look forward to talking with you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.